And I just wanted to tell you guys that it was a dream of mine to obtain financial freedom and retire by 40 is what my goal was, just whenever I was 21. And that would have been about like 13, 14 years ago. And it's just been such a pleasure so 2017 or so is actually when I set out to go obtain financial freedom. And I was working for a small company because I knew there was something about entrepreneurship that would let me get there. And I had read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I learned that it was through business or investments that you can obtain financial freedom. And the way that I was approaching it was, I'm going to work 80 hours a week and learn as much as I can working for this incredible entrepreneur. And it had been about 2 years in, and you guys, like, I'm missing out on dates because I'm the tech support. I'm actually doing the training. I'm the software developer. I was learning a ton, but it all came to a head at, one of these instances where I'm on a date. I say, hold on, I got to fix this tech issue. I got to go into my car, push the steering wheel in, push that seat back, get my laptop out and fix it. And it came to a head whenever I was actually at my best friend's wedding. And I made it through the whole ceremony. I didn't have to fix any bugs or do any job-related responsibilities. But it was at the reception. I finally was about to dig into my salad when that phone rang, and I knew it was a work call. So what I did was I put my fork down and I scrambled to find a place that was quiet enough to take that phone call before it actually went to voicemail. And I slid it open just as I got to my car, and I got my laptop out, pushed that steering wheel in, reclined that seat back so I could open up my laptop and fix this work issue at the company that I was at. And so my best friend and his wife were like, man, where did you go? And I told them, I was like, I'm learning a lot. I gotta do this work anytime it comes up. And they pointed out, they should hire somebody else. And I was like, yeah, you're actually probably right. And that was the moment I was like, I've learned as much as I can. If I'm going to continue to work this hard, it ought to be for me rather than for someone else. And it's such a privilege that I know everyone here, all 477 of you, I believe, would feel the same way. And it's a privilege to get to help you guys get there to financial freedom. And for the reason that you're here is because you want to see this industry-changing feature that we released today. You're the very first people to actually see it. And so here's our agenda. We're going to go through an intro. I'm going to give you guys a new feature reveal about Deal Machine. I'm going to give you a live demo. So I wanted you guys to know our mission is to give everyone the power of real estate investing. And just like me in 2017, when I had enough, I had been working 80 hours a week for someone else. I knew that there was a better way through reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad and the 4-Hour Work Week. And then I actually asked the company owner that I worked at, I was like, man, I noticed you work a lot less than me. Like, why do you have these rental properties, as well as your business? And he said that because the rentals would give off passive income every single month, that allowed him to more predictably, retire by 40, which was my goal. And so this is what I'm talking about in terms of the power of real estate investing. So whether you have money to build that rental portfolio, or whether you're looking to 10x your income and replace your W-2, which is a personal passion of mine, Deal Machine is the tool to help you find discounted real estate, which is the key to unlocking the power of real estate. So we're here to give you the tools, and this is actually what we've been able to accomplish. As you know, we've been around for 7 years, but in this past year, we've accomplished all of this. We continue to be innovators in the space to let you guys have the access to the very best tools so that you can obtain financial freedom faster. So just real quick, you can now point your phone at a house and it will tell you exactly what house you're looking at, and it'll tell you the owner, and you can send mail to that property owner. We also added 70 new data points, which I will dive deeper into. We improved the mail system, not only its reliability, but on the advanced plans, if you guys want to make the postcard a very custom design, you can just upload that or design it right in Deal Machine. Not just the text, but the images too. We also have mobile virtual driving for dollars. Driving for dollars, if you don't know, is an age-old technique that real estate investors use to find their very first deal, because all you do is put in the time to find a rundown house, and you find enough of them and you contact them and ask, would you like an offer on your property? And when they say yes, they're likely to give you a discount. So if you can't do that during the day because you're working a job that's got normal W-2 hours and it's nighttime by the time you get off, you can virtually do this. Or if you're in an expensive market and you want to invest in a market that is easier to get a first deal in, like in the Midwest, you can do it too without being there. We also added parcel IDs, and we added door hangers that you can order and put on the door handles when you're out in person driving for dollars. Those get a great response rate. We added the Alma AI assistant, which helps a lot of people with analysis paralysis when it comes to negotiating with the seller, when it comes to evaluating a deal and how much you can offer on that property. We also added an MLS photo gallery, which for me was huge. The struggle that I had when I did my first deal in 2018, and probably why I didn't get it in my first year, 2017, was because I had fear I was going to offer the wrong price on a property and either lose my reputation, which really didn't exist at all yet, or I lose my $100 of earnest money, or get stuck with a deal that I wasn't actually going to be able to make a lot of money on. And so the number one way I can look at comparable sales and figure out what this house is worth in perfect condition is by looking at the photos. And it's right here inside of Deal Machine, so that you can do that now too without switching to multiple computer tabs and all right from your phone. The list builder used to take, a couple minutes to build a list, but now it literally takes 3 seconds. No matter how big your list is, when you're looking at the map, you want to filter properties by motivations, such as single family homes that are owned by tired landlords that live out of state and are very likely to give you a discount. You could filter that down within a certain price range even, and it will build the list in 3 seconds. I kid you not, whether you're on desktop or mobile. And then we've got an updated software design on the right, if you haven't seen it yet, that not only shows you this beautiful map and the quick filters at the top, but all the properties you're looking at in a list on the right-hand side. So again, the takeaway from this is that we are innovators. We're not going to stop making the very best tools and solutions and updating that so you continue to stay ahead and have an edge, which brings me to the question about how much are you spending per month on skip tracing? I'm curious if you guys would mind putting that in the chat real quick. If you guys have any type of figure on that at all, if you're skip tracing, let me know how much you guys are spending per month. Cool. Nelly, tell me the total per month you guys are spending. I see 150 per month from Brittany, seeing 300 per month from Stephanie Hunt, Nick Johnson, 200 a month, Alex, 300, Jonathan, $120, Brett Maxwell, $250, Joe Matchin, I believe, $2,000. Okay, Dean, $250. So yeah, if you guys are cold calling or if you're text messaging, this is actually going to cost you some money, because it's about 10 to 15 cents every time that you want to skip trace. And here's just a quick visualization of that. If you do 10,000 skip traces per month times 10 cents, which is a pretty low cost actually, and that would cost you $1,000 per month. But I just wanted to let you guys know that nobody wants to be nickeled and dimed. And so one of the biggest things that we're revealing to you tonight is actually unlimited contact info that you're going to get in Deal Machine. So that means there's actually not going to be a skip tracing button in Deal Machine. If you're used to using Deal Machine, there's that button that says skip trace, and then it'll take about 5 to 10 seconds, and then it will bring back the phone number, the email, and additional addresses of the person. But I'm letting you guys know that it's actually going to be included with every property that you pull up in Deal Machine going forward. And so you guys are probably wondering, which is what I've been wondering, is, okay, but like, how good is this quality if it's actually not going to cost 15 cents? What matters the most is your time calling and your time text messaging. So the most important input is that the data quality is as good as possible. Otherwise, you're wasting your calls and your texts. So let me tell you about the quality of our data. So our data provider actually refers to 911 directories, and our data powers 90% of the caller ID in the US. Every telecommunications and wireless provider uses our data for spam tagging, which is when someone calls your mobile number and it says potential spam. And the top 10 banks use our data provider to verify identity for risk and fraud, which is an incredibly important thing for a bank to do. Many financial institutions also use our data graph for compliance, where if they call the wrong person for collections, they would heavily get fined, as well as the federal DNC list is in our data. So I'm seeing some flames from Nikki Zavala. I'm seeing Harry Brandon is shocked. Pat G says, let's go. And let's see here. Brian Johnson says, skip trace before. When will this be available? Nick, it's going to be available by the end of this webinar. And is the price for Deal Machine the same? We're going to answer all these questions. I love the questions and comments. Keep putting this in here. Asia Kinney says, wow, this is great. Bruce says, what? I love it, guys. I'm glad you're feeling the same sense of excitement that we are. And so I wanted you guys to think about like what type of contact info might be useful. And I'll give you a taste of what you're going to get in Deal Machine for 86% of the properties at no cost. Heavily accurately matched is going to be date of birth and age and your gender, marital status, language preference. So if they prefer to speak Spanish, you're going to see that before they call you or before you call them. Their mailing address, previous address where they lived, what their job is. You're also going to see, this is a huge one, is do they rent or do they own the property? One of the things that I was shocked with when I looked at this data for myself was I've got 14 rentals now, and I pulled up every single one, and I was shocked that it had the exact correct person who I knew was renting my property for each one of those. And so you might ask, well, why is that important? Well, every renter knows their landlord. And if you're a realtor, I know there are some realtors on the call. If there are, let me know in the chat. You may want to sell somebody a new house. And how else better to do that than calling a renter who has a high net worth? Because as you'll see on the right-hand column, net worth is an annual estimated household income is also part of the data. So you also get up to 3 phone numbers, which is a change because previously you might have gotten 10 phone numbers for a single property. And these are more accurately matched. And so we don't need to give you all those different phone numbers because the way that we're matching it here, realtor, okay, great. I see Jeannie Halloran's a realtor, Trina's a realtor, and Jonathan is a real estate broker as well. So yeah, you guys are going to love that strategy for pulling a list of renters that have high income to see if they want to buy a house or if they're in the market for that, because that would further narrow down somebody who might give you and be a really good client for you. So you also get up to 3 email addresses, and on the phone numbers, again, they're more accurately matched. So we give you less because we don't need to give you more. And then the education, occupational group, net asset value, and estimated household income. So I know you guys, do you want to see this? Like, let me know in the comments if you guys want me to show you how this works on a few actual properties. And in the meantime, I'm going to catch up on the comments real quick. I love how active it is. We got 544 people in here, which is amazing. Kitty says, realtor here. This is awesome with tenant info. Tom Mertz as well. Wow, there's more realtors in here than I thought. I love hearing from you guys. Can we reskip past properties we've added? So Patrick, great question. And when you have this activated on your account, the name, you won't even have to reskip it because the new contact info will automatically be there. So the answer is yes. And let's see here. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of yeses. People want to see the demo. And I see a quick story in here. Oh, Nikki Zavala says, my wife and I are getting started. I've listened to the Deal Machine podcast weekly. That's amazing. Stephanie Hunt even provided an address to look up. I love it. I love it. All right. So let me show you guys. Let me share my screen over here on the Deal Machine app. So I'm in Austin, Texas, and I wish I could show you all the features of this map. We're going to show everything on this map tomorrow, but guys, there's some pretty amazing filters here that I just can't pass up. And there they are. If you guys haven't seen that. So let me go ahead and click on one of these properties. So let's go ahead with 1007 Fiesta Street, Austin, Texas. And so if you guys have used Deal Machine in the past, you've seen these tags: off market, high equity, senior owner. Now, there is a whole bunch of these tags, as a matter of fact, and they just got even more accurate because we even have more info, as I was mentioning before, which is what I know you want to see. This house is owned by, according to the county, and down here is actually a person card. So I can click on the person card and I can see is over 65. She's a high earner and she is a property owner. She owns one or more properties. She was born, June 1954, 69 years old. She just owns one property. Okay. There's one property that she owns, and she's got two numbers. You might be asking, what are this green dot and this yellow dot? And if you can see the little tooltip, which I think you guys can, the yellow dot is going to be inactive monthly for 3 months. So there's minimum usage. It still might be a good one to use. The green one's active for 12 months or longer. So that might be the first one to call. And then the email address is, okay, so the email matches her actual birth year. Okay, and then I believe, I'm not huge into astrology, but I do know a little bit. And I believe up to June 20th is Gemini. So that checks out. And she's somebody named as well is associated with this property. So is also 69, but instead of born in June, he's born in January. And let's see here. Yeah, so still one property and a couple numbers here. And we've got a couple at Gmail. Definitely seems to match the name here. So this is a person contact card with demographic information, and this is a property card. So let me show you one more, and then I'll even try one from the chat. That'll be fun. So this one's their neighbor. And so this is, okay, it's owned by, and we got likely owner. There you go. And then these are going to be, okay, resident and likely renting. So, and it appears are the tenants. And so there, it looks like 3 people are actually renting here. So if for some reason, you can get right a hold of, which let's see if we can learn anything. Let's see. Oh, language preferences, Hebrew. I bet they speak English as well, living in the United States. But yeah, you could see, do they own, they own 3 properties actually. So they're kind of, part-time landlords, casual landlords with a few properties there. And then you could get their phone number, email, once again, similar info and email. And then, yeah, so if you couldn't get a hold of the actual landlords, you could even try the renters, or if you're a realtor, you could call the renters to prospect that way. So let me zoom back out to you guys and see what you've been commenting on in the chat. And then I've got more things to show you, so stay tuned. So will we have to update the present account? I will tell you guys that in a second. Is there a training on this? This is the one of 3 series of trainings, Diana. So not only we're meeting tonight, but there's going to be a presentation tomorrow and the next day that's going to be training on this. So Jonathan says, I've built my investment and listing business around Deal Machine. Oh, thanks, Jonathan. I appreciate you saying that. Definitely been an amazing part of the Deal Machine community. So Patrick says, I just called. I have the property under contract. Do I want to buy it? Oh, well, contact me on Instagram if you want to talk about deals, especially in Indianapolis. I appreciate that, Patrick. And congrats on getting that locked up. Okay, so let's see here. Nikki says, this is really amazing. Does this automatically scrub DNC? So it will say do not call if it's actually on the do not call list. Yes. Is this being recorded? And ability to run comps? Yes. You guys are asking amazing questions. Let me make sure I get through all the content. So I think Stephanie put this address in here a couple of times. So, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in here and see if we can get some info for Stephanie's property. I take it she doesn't mind sharing. So yeah, Stephanie, is this your property? Because I see the last name of the owner is Hunt. And I hope you're okay with this, but looks like Trent is 55. And let me know if these numbers look familiar. But yeah, so this is This is the info for this property. And okay, I showed you guys, again, these filters, off market, free and clear, high equity, senior owner. And if you looked at that past one, it said likely a cash buyer. So because we have these tags and we have this data, these are even more accurate. And so you could pull a list of potential cash buyers as well as see it when you're opening a certain property card. Okay, so you could check their portfolio, as we mentioned. So we saw that the past owner, they actually, we matched their addresses to the property owner. So that's the best cash buyers list out there. And as you see on that, these tags, actually, hold on a second. There's a way to actually pull cash buyers as well using that same data, but this is like a sneak preview of the list builder, which we're going to go into in more detail next time. And there's 44 properties on this map right here that would be good cash buyers. So that would be an example of how to do that. We went over age, marital status, language preference, education, occupation, and a high earner. Our mission, guys, is to give you more power, okay? So there's no more general blanketing of marketing. You can actually tailor things like direct mail that fit the exact person. So this is going to save you time working the right leads and save you money marketing to the right leads. So again, you're going to have the ultimate targeted marketing campaigns when you can filter down this accurately and even change what your postcard or communications are saying. So all the new Deal Machine plans include unlimited contact info, MLS data, MLS and county comps. I know that somebody was asking about comps earlier. And so if we were going to run comps on like one of these properties, I'll just give you a little teaser here. You can do this on your mobile phone. Remember, everything that you can do in Deal Machine, you can actually do on your mobile phone. So there's 47 selected comps of properties in a 1 mile radius that have, 800 to 1,300 square feet and sold in the last 6 months. Now, if you wanted to verify, are those truly similar looking properties? You could actually click to open one of these properties and look at the actual photos of the property to make sure it looks like the property in perfect condition, right? Because that's what you use to calculate after repair value. So this comp tool is powerful, even if you are a realtor and you have access to it. In your MLS, I'm curious what you guys think of our comps tool. We've definitely gotten some good feedback on it before because of just how easy it is on the mobile app and on the go. You get driving for dollars, virtual driving for dollars, route tracking, list stacking, API access, courses and tutorials, map highlights, which is what we just saw when you filtered out the cash buyers list. Not only could we just build that list from there, but we just see on the map, well, which properties are cash buyers? You could pull a list from that. So that was the one step I didn't take here. So now we've got 61 properties in the viewing area that match cash buyers. And if I click build list, giving you a sneak preview of tomorrow, we'll go more in depth on this tomorrow, but it's done, right? 3 seconds and this list is built. And it's actually going to be in your leads, able to start marketing to it right away. I really appreciate you guys being here. Have a good night. Happy deal finding.